Hi there, dear loving souls. You're very welcome to this office and to this channel where we talk about universal laws and practicing more love in our daily lives. Today's subject matter is all about planet Earth is a loving soul. That's right, my friend, you heard me right. It's actually not talking about the planet more generally speaking, but actually the fact that planet Earth has a spirit herself. She's got a soul and it's a loving soul. Just like we've got one, so does the planet. I might also use the term Mother Nature, Divine Mother, or Gaia, the name. Some call her scientifically Terra, for the word which means earth, or dirt. Some translations do that. Now, I prefer to use, Mother Nature or planet Earth, or simply the name Gaia. That's just my personal preference. So we're going to be talking about Gaia and the fact that she's got a loving soul within her. Now, as always, part one is going to be more about the facts and the universal laws that come to mind in relation to this subject matter. Part 2 will be about the application of universal laws and some practical tips. And part 3 will be all about receiving messages from the spirit world on the subject matter. I'm sure they're going to have plenty of lovely things to say on that planet Earth having a loving soul. So stick around, my dear friends. Grab a cup of tea, a cup of coffee, or a beverage of your choice. I've got just some water with me today. I'm going to kick off the hourglass just to keep an eye on the time. And honestly, there is a little bit of inspiration behind the subject matter. Like, I have previously made a video series on thanking Gaia for our meals, and you're very welcome to check out those video series if you're just interested a bit more. But over the last couple of weeks or so, I've just been noticing myself watching things on TV or hearing about just planet Earth a little bit more, and I was inspired to actually discuss more as to the planet and sort of the spiritual side of her, perhaps the fact that there is a soul and she's got a spirit as well. I think there's a reason why we feel we're drawn more to talk about her as like a feminine energy or divine mother, Mother Nature. There must be a reason for it, and I do truly believe that it has something to do with the fact that she's like a representative of the divine feminine energy. And maybe let's just jump straight and talk about the universal laws. So the first one that comes to mind when talking about the planet Earth having a loving soul, it's going back to that principle or universal law, which is the whole universe is made up of energy, right? It's where the universe is effectively an energy field. We're all energy ourselves, being spirits or loving souls. We're all energy. Our physical body is also energy, and everything around us, every single matter is, at its core, it's energy. And so it makes sense, well, in my head anyway, that the planet herself is energy itself. So inherently it has to have, like we do, a physical body and a spiritual body. So jumping into second universal law that I speak of on this channel, we've got the hardware or the technology, the vehicle that we use to experience, the dense world, the 3D world, the physical world on planet Earth. And we've also got the spiritual body, or like the software that makes us makes us unique. And the heart is the organ that I believe is the bridge between the physical body and the spiritual body, hence why so much more emphasis perhaps is placed on our heart as the organ, and that it keeps on, ticking. It by design it actually sends, blood all around our body, and blood cells carry a lot of goodies around our body, but it's a system that actually, as a result of the heart, we get energy and all the other goodies sent around our body for a reason, because there is this dance between the physical body and the spiritual body at the same time, the software that sends things around us. But the reason I want to talk about it is obviously in the context of planet Earth, so we know what planet Earth looks like on the inside and the outside, whichever perspective you want to look at, and we know that deep inside there is the core, and I do believe the core is effectively the heart of planet Earth, and there is, in the same way that our heart is the bridge between the spirit world and our spiritual body and our physical body, likewise planet Earth's core is that bridge between her spirit and her physical body. And if we jump into universal law number 3, this very much aligns, I think, as to why we naturally refer to the planet as her or Mother Nature or Divine Mother. It's something to do with the qualities, I think, that she kind of represents, I suppose, and that's things like birthing, our ability to birth, fertility, growth, development, love, care, nurturing spirit, ultimately abundance as well, like being abundant and being able to be resourceful to transfer energy from one state to another, to go from one state to another, because remember, energy can't be created or destroyed, but it does have the ability to transform. And I think this is a very beautiful and powerful ability of our, gorgeous planet, our Gaia, so the ability to transform certain energies from one state to another, and the cycles of things, how they go from a beginning to the end, completion, and then once again they turn into something new. And there's this, repetition or a cycle or a pattern of it happening all over again and again and again. And ultimately, the unconditional love. So I think of Gaia as a planet that keeps on giving. She gives without asking for anything in return. And I think that's a beautiful, powerful, strong quality of unconditional love. And that's why I think inherently she is a loving soul. And I really want I want to speak about this today here in this video series. And I hope you are inspired as well to be able to, resonate with that message and, put your hand on your heart to kind of feel if there's some truth to this, and trust your own gut on that, as well as if you are in agreement that planet Earth has a lovely loving soul, perhaps you'll be inspired to share it with others and speak with others, and perhaps even share the video series with other people on the subject matter of planet Earth having a loving soul. And funny enough, I was just, before I decided to film this, I just had this thing in my head thinking of hashtag be like Gaia. And if you recall, on social media there is this ability to put a hashtag to something, be like that person or be like that person, depending on whichever quality they represent or whatever it is that they show, whatever it is that they're known for. So in my head I just had this, hashtag be like Gaia. In other words, be that and divine feminine, be that entity that wants to give without asking something in return. I think if we all, on this channel we talk about practicing love, if we gave a lot of our love, if we gave a lot more of us to other people, our great thinking about others, sending positive wishes, speaking, with love to others, or lovingly, in a loving manner, doing love for others in a variety of shapes and forms without asking for something in return. I think that's a really interesting energy to sort of embrace, and hashtag be like Gaia. So if you are inspired to share this video series with others, maybe comment down below, hashtag be like Gaia, or in whatever other shapes and forms you are inspired to actually send the message across the planet, across Gaia, across the universe. Who knows, it might be picked up, and the more people practice love and be like Gaia, I think there'll be a lot more good on this planet and the universe as a whole. So, and let's perhaps wrap up that part 1, and let's jump into part 2, where we talk about some practical tips and application of these universal laws in practicing love. Click on the link down below in the description box for part 2, and I will see you shortly in part